And hello everybody, this is I, Heroscaper, back from scapecon, here to paint some Elites of Ullar today. Really, I need your help getting through these guys. I've been avoiding it for a little bit of time now, as I just haven't been motivated to paint these guys. Or ladies. And hello everybody, this is I, Heroscaper, back from scapecon, here to paint some Elites of Ullar. And let me get rid of my echo. That might be helpful. There we go. All right. Well, we're just going to dive into it as chat pops in. I'm going to start with a black green from Procreate. Let's just start base coating their various colors. As I said, I've been kind of putting these ladies off just because I'm not a big fan of their sculpts. I'm hoping that maybe once we get some paint on them, I'll fall back in love with these elites. But right now, they're just kind of, they have their arms kind of in front of their bodies, so they create some kind of tough to reach areas. But we'll get through it, and we'll get these guys all painted today. And I'm sorry, just adjusting light real fast. I hope everyone is doing well today on this lovely Thursday evening. I've finally kind of overcome my scape haze, as I call it, from scapecon, which is, you know, playing Heroscape every day from 7:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. Is, you know, there are worse things to be happening, but it does it does start to filtrate into your cognitive sense there for a little bit. Overall, it was a great time at scapecon. I'm still working on my retrospective for it, but it was a really good time. If you're a Scape fan and you want just the most concentrated, undistilled Heroscape experience, you got to make it one time. Highly recommend it. I'd say this year is honestly the best year. It was the best one. We had a museum. It was mainly trains. Not a museum, a hotel. It was mainly trains. And it's downtown. It was a new location this year, but I kind of think it ended up working for the best. The one downside about scapecon is that the main area, at least in the old hotel, became almost like a bog from all the intense pressure sweat and lack of adequate weather control. This year, this was a little bit less prevalent for most of the con. And we're just going to be going through these all kind of in a assembly line fashion, just to kind of start getting these done. I switched over to more of an angel green from Army Painter, as I kind of like the little bit of bluish undertone the green had. You see a Kyrie, I want to paint it green. I was trying to think if there's any other fun ways to paint these Kyrie, and I just honestly couldn't think of it then. I almost need to pull up a reference for what part is green and what part isn't green. Because I forget what they look like. There you go. Okay, so I got some legs for the most part showing. But yeah, I'm just trying to get through these. It's tough knowing that I probably won't need 4 or 5 squads of these. I think that's another reason I've been discouraged to paint them. Maybe I'll give them away or put them on a prize table or something. They're not my favorite sculpts, not my favorite units. I don't hate their abilities, I just think they're a little overcosted. It's a lot of work for them to die to a whiff. I wish there honestly were just a little bit less strong and like 55 points. That way you could, use a bunch of them. Or that they were stronger and worked with like all Ullar units instead of just, Kyrie. Like imagine if they're wounded they can move any small or medium Kyrie hero. Or small or medium Ullar hero. That would be pretty interesting. I'd give them a lot more use cases. But as is, I mean, they were trying to make the two trying to make the Kyrie box somewhat usable. Seems to have been a goal of Renegade. And an admirable one at that. It's nice that they are able to try to make them a bit more usable, but even still, I think they're all struggling a bit. I had a really great time at scapecon. It was a whole lot of fun. I missed the first 2 days, so I felt kind of like, the someone coming in like the 4th season of a TV series at first, but I got pretty well integrated pretty fast. It's just people are so kind. I'm not a big like super talkative social person, but I'm like staying up to 2 a.m. talking to people and just having really good discussions. It's definitely the highlight of my year for sure. I didn't get my gift from the binder. I signed the binder and I got your things, but I didn't know what gift was in the binder for me. But maybe we could figure that out. I think there was some miscommunication between me and Bowtie Jones. So I'm sorry about that. And Kyrie lost a wing. I think I stepped on her. My Sephiroth Kyrie. I'm almost tempted to paint her black just to be indicative of that. Yeah, but I'm not the biggest fan of these guys. I got some painting done over the weekend at scapecon though, or over the week at scapecon. Painted a nice Rannoch. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the chat. Started painting. Kind of the next. I'm trying to get all my stuff painted before before new releases drop. So I actually might be streaming a bit more is the goal. I'm kind of backed up on things. Honestly, what I should be working on is I have a bunch of Revenants to get through, but I've been painting Revenants for for a long time. Pretty much, Sir Heroscape posted a video. I painted some Revenants for him, and people have been asking for the Revenants. So I've painted like 4, 5 squads at this point, and I have like 4 more to paint. So I'm just kind of tired of painting those guys. Actually faced Sir Heroscape at scapecon. Sir Heroscape's like the final boss. I always kind of can make it to top cut, and then Sir Heroscape kind of brings me down back to earth. First event I did at scapecon, I got 2nd place, which I was pretty happy with. But just couldn't seal that first place spot. It was King of the Hill format, essentially, where you had to have the highest spot on the map, and whoever did get a point. So you could either do your standard elimination, or you could do go for victory points. I actually like win conditions that are just beyond kill them all, because then it allows you to make some bold choices if you're falling behind. So that was a pretty fun event. Do I have any of my newly painted Vipers with me? If you notice, my whole area is still in deconstruction from from post scapecon. But let's see if I can find it near me. I know I just put it away here. There we go. Let's see. It might still be in another box somewhere. So I'm not seeing it. It's hidden. Which is interesting. I could have swore I put him away. Oh, here he is. Like I said, everything is a huge mess. Here's one I finished, or in the process of finishing up at scapecon here. I think I have to paint the center area green, I realized. But spent a bit of time there. The good thing about scapecon is I have time to just kind of focus really nice on like one or two models. Whereas at home I don't have that luxury of time. So I was really happy with how the greens came out, the lighting. He's got a little more work to do, but he's done in the parts that matter. Got me distracted. That's good. But yeah, no, it was a really good event. I have some matches recorded I plan on uploading with some commentary. I just kind of have an editing day. I think I'm gonna be posting a schedule, a calendar of things I want to drop, just because I'm kind of falling behind on getting the stuff out there. I think having some deadlines you can all pester me about might help me out. I met up with Tails there. We played our... I have not won a game against Tails of Valhalla yet. For some reason, whenever we fight, he unlocks like luck mode and just starts going crazy. And I just have no... He was playing bees, and I think he frenzied like about 8 or 9 times in a row on the bees. I just couldn't withstand that onslaught. So, good job, Tails. He has one goal in life, and that is to make sure I don't win. Honestly, I did pretty good this year. I only had one event where I really just did not plan well. That was the what if event, where you just can change one contemporary unit to have change one feature class on them, and I just didn't plan very well for that one. So I went 0-4 in that one. But I got top 5 a few times in some events. So I think this is one of my better showings this year, which I was happy about. Not the bees. Yeah, I was screaming that. It was it sounds bad this year. Usually when I go to scapecon to save a couple bucks, I don't buy the meal ticket. And just I just kind of scavenge little snacks all week. And this year, I actually bought the meal ticket because it was part of just the hotel room. And I actually ate food at scapecon. So I felt a lot better the entire week. And slept a little bit better. I played a little bit less games. Took a little bit better care of myself. You really have to pace yourself at scapecon. If you don't, you... There are some people I talking to on like day 4 where it was just... they were like... like there was not, they were fried. So that's the one piece of advice is there's so much to do. Just pace yourself. But it's fun. It's definitely fun. I'm sad I can't go to Gen Con this year, but maybe next year I'll try to do it. I only was there for 2 or 3 days at scapecon, and so I wasn't able to teach any painting classes or do any of that kind of stuff this year. But next year I'm hoping to do a little bit more. more painting stuff. I mean, people come from all around. Gray Waves came in from Australia. People coming in from Oregon and Wyoming and Massachusetts, and it's a pretty it's a pretty intense event. Like intense, I meaning that there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's really fun. Was there some good food? There was some okay food. I would not call it like, oh, this is the best food I've eaten in my life. But in terms of like hotel conference food, it was pretty decent. Honestly, the desserts were the highlights, I'd say. They had every meal they had pretty much just a whole dessert kind of buffet available. So you ate some cheesecake, ate some tiramisu. I think that was the best part. I don't think the food was like actively bad, but it's not like it's whenever you feed a large group of people, the quality does dip slightly. Anyone there from the World Cup? As I was leaving, I noticed a lot of people coming in for the World Cup. Like there was just a bunch of looked like people from around the world standing in the streets. So I think it kind of ended, thankfully, when I was leaving, or the World Cup was starting when I was leaving. So thankfully our traffic and stuff didn't collide because it was downtown, so it was tough finding the valet, and you had to go through construction, and it was a bit of a hassle to get kind of parked at the hotel. That was probably the hardest part of the whole event. I'm glad I got off work a bit earlier. I was just going to be there at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sorry, my microphone is in the way. And thankfully I was able to get there a bit earlier and hop into the night event, which was nice. I didn't get as much footage as I normally do. It's just kind of tough when you're playing games all day to set up your camera and take all that extra footage while playing. Like you don't want to disturb your opponent and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I don't have as much B-roll, but we should be able to composite some kind of video together from it. Yeah, Messi playing Death Ravers. I'm not like a huge sports person, but I just like more like hearing about the World Cup, like where cultures collide and stuff like that. I think it's pretty cool. Who would have thought that soccer would have saved the world? See, if I wasn't so lazy, I would have just primed these all green. Or I guess if I was extra lazy, I would have primed these all green and just saved me a lot of this initial base coating here. Honestly, I probably should have done that. I have an airbrush. I got my airbrush finally working. I just didn't really bother with it. When I start using the airbrush, I kind of get distracted and just start airbrushing for hours, and I would have missed the stream tonight. Yeah, Messi just only plays like A+ stuff. Jeez. Alright, let's see. This one I did a brighter undertone, which probably would have been I was back and forth on if I wanted to start bright and then kind of tone it down, or start dark and then tone it up. It's always kind of the question you want to kind of figure out when you're painting is, do you want to go bring up the colors or bring down the colors? Both have their positives and negatives. It's more instinctive, like you kind of get how colors work when you bring them up. But sometimes starting with your brightest color and working your way down gives you a little bit more flexibility, and is a little bit more easier to get to that brightness level you want. got Secrets coming out in a month, and I have a whole bunch of less than a month. I don't think I'm going to get it done in time now that I realize how much stuff I have to get painted. But we are going to try. We are going to be painting like mad. Not a soccer fan myself, just enjoy seeing foreign soccer fans reacting how USA live, and we have free refills for drinks. Yeah, I like the Europeans stuffing their suitcases with ranch. I think it's pretty funny. Like, America has its share of problems, but you know what? One thing I think America does pretty well is at least having strong flavors. At least in their condiments and sides. America is kind of weird because it either has like, it's very bland, or has like some of the most intense flavors worldwide. Like, you go down south, it's pretty intense. But I'm in the Midwest, and sometimes I feel like the flavor's a little dull out here. See, I used to live in California, and I actually used to live outside Vietnam town, so I had some really, really good food over there. And for me, just everything feels a little underseasoned, a little underspiced for what I like. But I like it a little bit more intense than the average person does. I feel like the first parts of AOA had lots of yellow and purple, and these recent like commons have had a lot of green on them, between the Vipers and the Elites and the Orcs, and I just feel like green. It's been nothing but green on my palette for a while now, which is fine. I like working with green. I don't even know what other colors I would paint these. I guess blue would look pretty good, but then that's just confusing. Waiting for the pre-orders to come in. They're coming. I'm pretty excited about this stuff coming up. I'm gonna have so much fun painting those motorcycles. I'm gonna do some fun Tron schemes on them, and there's just a lot you can do with those motorcycles. But it's nice that con season's has died down a bit. Event season has died down a bit, so we can kind of get back to getting the pile of shame a little bit more completed. Because the past 2 months I've had like 2 big tournaments, scapecon, a lot of online tournaments. I just feel like I've been playing. Sadly, feel like I've been playing more than painting for playing, which I guess is a good spot to be in. But I am a little worn out from all the trips, because my scenes are, the Alliance War I went to was in Wichita, which is about 3 hours away from me, and then another Alliance War I went to was in Nebraska, which is also about 3 hours away from me. So it's just been a lot of going to and fro. So it's nice to have a little bit of quiet now. How does AOA end? Were the Wellsprings destroyed? In one, so AOA ends with a climactic battle with against Thorman, who there's a canon ending and an alternate universe ending that you can see if he won. The one where Thorman won, he does destroy the Wellsprings, I believe. But in the current canon, Thorman pretty much got sucked up into a time storm that's ravaging across Valhalla. And it pretty much ends with all the alliances kind of being formed and being broken up separately. So that's kind of how it ends. So currently the Wellsprings are all intact. Everyone has reclaimed their respective amulets, but not destroyed. I mean, you don't want to be that guy, but Thorman definitely had the right ideas. He just had the wrong implementation of his ideas. Alright, let's start doing some skin tone on all these people now. We're going to use some Shadow Flash from Pro Acryl. It's really good. If you're looking for a good base tone for your skin, Pro Acryl's Shadow Flash is just this really nice shade of brown, brownish pink. It gives you a whole lot of room to build up from. Yeah, I'm excited to see where secrets are going. I'm really excited just to paint those models, though. Those models are, as long as they're scaled properly, a lot of the initial issues we've had kind of with this wave are fixed. It's going to be some of the best stuff we've received in Escape. Like, at least in terms of visually. We got some really cool samurai. We got, I don't even remember. I get the new releases and the upcoming releases all kind of mixed up in my head. What else do we have? Oh, all the unique. I'm really looking forward to painting Gimbal. That's going to be a fun one. And I like painting uniques because you can spend a bit more time on them, make them look really nice, instead of like commons where I'm just trying to get these ready for game day type of deal. I just finished my orc squad that I painted a little bit a while ago in stream. And it was just like, alright, these aren't all perfect, but they're done. I don't want to be doing this for the next 2 years. What is the Citadel? We don't really know that yet. I think next month's scenario will probably be bringing that out. A supposed underground realm. Here's my theory. The Citadel is the supposed underground realm of Heroscape's kind of predecessors, the ancient people kind of referred to in lore, and we'll be exploring kind of that area, pretty much looking for new items in the fights against all the alliances. Now, I have to talk about the Tome of Annihilation sometime. It's a really cool book. Like, if you just want all the information, it's all right here. Really detailed. And there's lots of hints of what's to come in the future of the game, too. Like, if you read it in between the lines, you definitely can see where they're going. There's hints of fairies. I'm pretty sure Grimneck 9 is going to be on a big Bronchiosaurus. There's just a bunch of stuff here. Now we just have to wait. Like, I'm hoping Gen Con gives us some more information of what wasn't revealed at the last Renegade Con, like the Green Knight and the Boar Riders. At least a little bit more of those details. I imagine we'll get some good reveals in the next couple of days. So I remember last year they had a pretty big showing. I'm hoping that Voidstorm turns into something interesting. Like, we get more... Like, one of the ideas in the original HasLab was that Valhalla's, like, going beyond summoning just creatures from other worlds. It's starting to summon, like, landmass and terrain. And it'd be cool to have the Voidstorm kind of be an impetus. Imagine if we had, like, Mar Flora or Mar Fauna on Valhalla, or like pieces of elven architecture. I think there'd be a lot of fun ways to incorporate some new terrain. Into Heroscape. I'm hoping that Time Storm brings about some cool stuff. But before we get sidetracked, I think the Citadel is going to be this place inhabited by the ancients, the people that came before the Kyrie. I think they're the Esatari is what they're officially called, something like that. I think those giant mummy hands that we've seen teased are going to be members of those species. I don't know, it'd be cool to follow up on some threads. I think we're going to pretty much like ancient pre-Kyrie Valhalla, like space or relics. Would be kind of cool. See, this is why I just don't like these guys. They just kind of have like these wings. They're just kind of in the way. We're just getting there. All right. Slowly but surely. They have an Anukai. I don't remember what that is, but they might have it. I don't know if I like doing the Synthol on these or just the pure black as much. Is it the Anukai? I forget what the ancient people are called. Now you're making me look it up here. No, it's Ullar. Ullar is the name of the species that came before the Kyrie. What is it? It sounds familiar. Now I'm. Oh, that's it. Okay, thank you. I remember now. Yes, the ancient people. Pretty much, that's kind of what they are in Heroscape. Something similar to that. Just giants, I imagine, is what they are. I was like, where did I recognize that from? From my late night Instagram scrolling, I think. Trying to think of what I would like to see added. I think we're in a pretty good spot. We honestly need some more wolves. We haven't had like a wolf species for so long. Give us a Costumet Volume 2 and like some wolf slingers or some kind of ranged wolves would be very nice. Just because they're one of the classic factions that hasn't made a return. I think most others have. I'm trying to think of, besides like the one-offs. Orcs have gotten at least some new representation. Vipers have. Honestly, that and Omnicrons, we haven't had really any like robots besides Vidar show up. Some more blue robots would be pretty cool. Those ones are kind of been left behind. Which I wish the Deflectatron was as a Jandar. One, I think the model would have looked better. And it would be cool in some specific Jandar Solbark builds, I think. Imagine like dropping Deflectatron and shooting it with repulsors. That would work. That'd be fun. Not strong. Not very good, but it'd be fun. Give it some kind of use. I do think Deflectatron is my go-to filler, though. I use old Deflecto a whole bunch. At scapecon, I was in a match, and someone dropped their Deflectatron next to my Raylan, and just cut her off. Diabolical. I was happy. I had a pretty good showing in an all-unique build. It's definitely a format that favored uniques, but with Samurai at scapecon, which they usually don't do too good. But it was a wonky Ebon armor, Rygarn, Samurai build. And a format where all commons subtract 1 from their attack against uniques. So there was a little bit of tech there. If I could go back and change one classic squad to be a 2-life squad, it would be the Takawa. They could really use that 1 extra life. Or how expensive they are. Electron's good for the points, yeah. He's a good little guy. I wish he was 20, just so he could fit into some army builds I have. But he's good at 25. If he's useful one time, then he's got his points worth. I've actually won games with him where he's kind of like my last figure on the board. That 4 defense can be tanky, especially if you can drop on height. Yeah, he surprisingly, the thing he's least good at is deflecting, I'd say. He's better at like tying up your opponent more so than even like, because I find that like he gets next to like some of my pieces and my opponent won't even like attack him. They'll just attack someone else, which I guess in of itself is helpful, but you know, the whole conceit of that 1 auto shield. I do wish that like he had some kind of like ranged Counter-Strike where it's like actually deflecting ranged attack, but it's probably too strong. Kind of like a Cyclops or something. Like if you attack him or anyone next to him and he rolls 3 shields, you get a wound or something. But he's pretty nice. I like Deflectatron. Honestly, I don't know why people were so resistant to common promos. I like having, because you know, there's a point where like, all right, I don't need 4 copies of Cornelius. But I also get that everyone can't make it to events, so I don't really know what makes a promo. Like there's like it's wild to me that Deathwalker 10K is just a promo figure they're given for free. Like that seems like one figure most people would just buy. Like would just de facto just want to have. But you know, they do their own thing. So it's not a very interesting dynamic night tonight. We are just assembly line running these guys, trying to get some color on them. I think I'm going to start working on Thorman here pretty soon, which I think is going to be like a multi-stream event. We're going to be spending a long time on Thorman. Doing a really good job on him. I think that's going to be our next course of action. I want to get my Thorman and Kraken all painted up nicely. have it? You're like 15? At scapecon, someone's like, how do you get through the mundanity of common squads? And I was like, I talk to my stream. I annoy my stream people. That's how I do it. I gave a painted halute shot as a prize support for scapecon this year, which it seemed like some people really wanted them. So I'll have to be sure to bring some more next year. I painted like a winter scheme, and I figured it would look really nice with the ice trolls on the field. But I don't know who ended up with it. I know someone did. Yeah, just like the arm is in the way. Not making this easy on me, elites. So I think there was another alliance war recently, and then the Umbral Covenant took the lead, which is unfortunate. I don't want them to win. Like their figure is going to be so edgelordy. Like it does not need to. And also, Ravna and Vidar have like some of the strongest figures in the game. Like they don't need another strong figure. They should just combine the stats of Maladrix and put them on Q10. There. I do wonder what the... I think it would help people if we knew what the figure was. Or like even kind of some general things. I think honestly that might change some votes. I get the new alliance being pretty low though. That's a tough sell. I'm surprised it has 2 votes. And I thought Einar would have more, but I think people really don't like Valerak. You either really like Valerak or you just don't like Valerak. There's no in between. Good evening, Billy Rager. Hope you're doing well today. We are painting a whole gaggle of elites here. 4 more than I ever have any chance of using, unless we're running some 1,000-point events. It's the elites are. I wish they had better army build combinations. Because right now they have like 1 build. And that's it. There's not a lot of flexibility with them. Alright. Just putting this base layer on. So I'm a pretty big Godzilla head. I've been like remembering all the Godzilla lore lately. I just watched like a 3-hour video that goes through every Godzilla movie and the monsters in. I don't know. I would like to see Godzilla in Heroscape, but he might be too big. But at least give me some like proxies. I do like want like a moth figure, like a. I did my flag bearer video. I think just having some kind of cool Luna moth as an insect for a Quill would be really cool. Praying mantises. I want some praying mantises too. Trying to decide which one of these models is my favorite. I think this one right here has the most like personality, and coincidentally is the easiest, I'd say, to paint. Just because it doesn't have its arms in front of its body. Okie dokie. I think we have just a couple more for this round of layer. This round of color right here. I've been working a little bit off camera on painting up my Eisenachs. I was trying to challenge myself with this one using no wash and no metallics here. Just pure paint. Which I was kind of happy with how they turned out. The Eisenachs are so grungy. You can get away with a lot of just not smooth blending and just having to be kind of messy looking. But yeah, it's a fun paint here. So I have a couple tutorials filmed. I need some insight into which one should I focus on. I have currently the Decker painting tutorial just done with the paint sets. I have the Grave Grim one all filmed up, or mostly filmed up. And I think I have... those are the two ones I have filmed, at least ready for production. Which one should I focus on? Grave Grim or Decker? Tanuki Mobsters would be pretty cool. Honestly, just like kind of more mobster themed stuff, I would always appreciate. With the release of Ullar Elites, should all Kyrie squads have 2 life? I mean, no. Like, I don't think minions or Sentinels need it. They have enough defense that, honestly, I'd rather have them have that more defense than that multiple life. Because the problem with 2 life and 3 defense is that a whiff hurts really bad. And also Grimneck can just... or Bernie can just chew through these guys. Like, he just ignores that extra life that they're priced for. See, I'd rather have them have, like, 5 defense than 2 life. Even if it doesn't make Amara that much better. I could see... No. Like, Protectors work well with 1 life. Like, if Protectors with 2 life would be really, really good. I wish they did. Maybe Einar Imperium if keep him at 140 points. I could see that working. I really don't like 2 life on common units too much. Like, it's kind of messy. I feel like that should just be an elite, like a unique thing that they have access to. I'm just hoping we get some more Ullar heroes that kind of work on their builds. Like, the lore talks a lot about this guy called Taman the Hunter. Like, he's mentioned like 3 or 4 times in AoA lore. But he's not like a character that's ever been referenced. But honestly, having a Ullar Kyrie that's a hunter, maybe it gives him some like hunter synergy with the Ranox, would be pretty cool. That allows them to have some really interesting builds there. Or even just like a cheap 30 points Ullar Kyrie. Like, we honestly need more filler Kyrie. We don't have a lot of it. They're all like 80 points plus. Just, it'd be nice to have some like 30-point Kyrie running around. Grim? Okay. The Grim one's pretty close to done. I can get that one. Get that one done pretty fast. You're gonna have to start having some more polls on what to get there. I sometimes get kind of stuck with all the things. Gotta be releasing the I gotta start filming the new Zetacron one too. Alright, this is the last skin tone for the last one here. Yeah, the Grim one has been sitting in the to-do pile since last Halloween. I was gonna release it as part of Scapecon last year, but just didn't finish it in time. It's tough because I always want to do so many things for Halloween, but it's just like a busy month because of the holidays are starting, and also it's National Heroscape Day. And there's just like 10 things going on every October. And that's like my favorite time of year. It's kind of wild that there's not like a major holiday until Halloween. Like, I guess we have Labor Day, but it's like, you know, a holiday that you decorate for until Halloween. Imagine 2-life minions. You can't think of a more unfun enemy. Yeah, 2-life minions would be... that would be rough. Maybe if they had 3 life, then they play, but just 5 defense, 2-life minions would be terrible. Or at least 5 or 6, I forget. I haven't played minions in a hot minute. I think they're 5, because I was 5 just is either you block every attack or you fold on 1 skull. Like, there is no... I think it's something with how the averages work. Halloween stuff is already at Sam's Club. That's good. Every day should be Halloween, I think. Like, I don't object to Halloween stuff being out early, but I do object to Christmas stuff being out early. Bring out the spooky skeletons. I'm excited we got some pretty fun things, releases for Halloween. Like, Torvik is going to be a fun Halloween staple. Even Krampus is kind of like spooky, Nightmare Before Christmas you can run. Yeah, it's nice to get some seasonal stuff added to Escape. I really do want like a Leprechaun added to Escape. I really think that'd be kind of fun. Spirit Halloween hasn't taken over its usual vacant storefront. Yeah, that's when you know it's the year's over, is when Spirit arrives. Spirit is like a parasite that just like finds a dying animal and lives inside of it. It's kind of how Spirit operates. It's wild to me that Spirit still does that and doesn't just like everything's just not Amazon. Like, I don't object, but it's kind of like it feels like something that would have gone the way of the Blockbuster and the Dodo. The ghost of Kmart's past. I remember Kmart used to sell Heroscape occasionally. At least the ones in my area did. But it was always kind of random. if it did or not. It wasn't like consistent. And they were always just like wave 1 or wave 2 packs. Which is good if you needed that. Okay. I think we got all the skin tones down, which is pretty nice. Or mostly down. Want some guys that work just like Planeswalkers but have a magic deck. I have so many copies of the AOA, the Arena of the Planeswalker 1, but I've never played it. Is it pretty much like a strong summoning mechanic? Is kind of how it works. What color are their wings? I got like a gray wing. I think we need to go lighter. Let's actually go more for a kind of like I'm trying to decide what I want to do for these wings here. I think they're a light gray, it seems. I think we're going to go with like a slightly dark gray, then dry brush a light gray on top of it. It's going to be our plan here. We'll start with a brown gray, I think, and let's go from there. Once I have a good stopping point, could I show off my Renegade Ullar Kyrie heroes? Yeah, let's see if I can pull those up here real fast while I wait for this to dry. See, I painted these originally better, and then I sold them, and then I just kind of painted them real fast to get them repainted. Honestly, wouldn't mind redoing these just to make them a bit better. Also, I just painted these a long time ago. Here's this one. I do need to work on the eyes on this one. I just kind of gave up there. And this one here. Arena of the Planeswalker walks. I've heard like mixed things on it. Like some people seem to say it's like like a better version of Heroscape, and some people say they just prefer Heroscape. I've never like played the actual system, but Arena of the Planeswalker is what got me into painting. I had all those unpainted models, and I just said, I need to figure out how to paint these. I actually have some customs that I worked on. They're like one of my first customs I did too, for the Arena of Planeswalker stuff. How about Wild Hunt figures? That'd be pretty cool. Honestly, hunters need something just to kind of tie them all together. Even the VC still has kind of hunters as kind of disparate factions. And I would like, even with Coolborn and all that stuff, they're still kind of like wonky. And they just, I think, need a strong hero. Nice basing, thank you. Yeah, that's what it's all. That's what it's all about. Is the base. The decks are starting to get busted. This might be a little bit more too brown and gray. I think I'm gonna go a little bit more just typical gray. I was seeing if I like that or not. I'm just gonna find my gray if I could find it. Alright, this is dark sea green, which is really just a nice gray. And we're gonna get more of a brush that we can be a little rough with. This is our Rosemary and Cove Sable that I have my local friendly game store owner smuggle in for me from Europe. Because I think import taxes have made it pretty hard to bring in. And he has a nice stock, which is pretty nice. It's a pretty nice, affordable sable brush. Since there's so many ridges, I just don't want to damage it. And we'll be going pretty fast in this part here. Need some big hunter synergy. Just because it'll be funny when Werewolf Lord can sometimes add synergies with lycanthropy. Oh yeah, because he turns them into hunters. That's right. I wish the Werewolf Lord was slightly better. Like, I like his kit. I just can never make him work in an army. He's usually killed before he can do anything. But if you can disrupt a bonding chain, is really his best use. He's just kind of, I don't know how I feel about him. He's just kind of a funky unit. Honestly, I wish we had more units that could do stuff like that just change tags mid-battle. I think he's just hard to plan around because hitting that like 11 or higher. But yeah, a dedicated hunter booster would be really nice and appreciated. Just bring 2 werewolves. That's fine. Delta werewolves you can make happen. It's always that I think he's supposed to be twisty. It's just that twist of like, do you bond or do you run him on his own? I just haven't had good luck with them. But I have been wanting to like bring them out again. Honestly, I wouldn't mind another Dark Lord in Heroscape. Like we could use another one, I'd say. The wolves are such a weird faction. Like they have the most backwards like synergy of all time. Like the Nubians who could really use a bonding hero as they benefit from Cossumet don't bond. And then the Badru who don't really like, they could work just by themselves. Like they don't need that Dark Lord do bond. And then you have Cossumet who gives like adjacent attack boost, but the Nubians don't need that. Like that's the one thing they reliably have is pretty strong attack. Like that +1 attack that it's just wild to me how the synergy web works and none of it really works that well. But I do like the wolves though. I think the wolves are underestimated. I like running the Nubians with Raylan and Lovi. And now we have the Gnarlfurs. I might actually start running this as more often. Just that 7-move wolf. 7-move 4 defense wolf is pretty scary. At that point it's it's pretty devastating. And you can bring Cosima into that army with the Gnarlfurs, and he's a, you know, at least in his reduced point cost, he's pretty decent with Gnarlfurs just as a quick attack boost. He is not the worst bonding target for them. Almost, I feel like that's the patch the Wolves need. When I think about it. He dies in 2 seconds if he's up front. Yeah. I just give us a Cosima 2.0. Like, Cosima 2.0. Give him 1 shield defense. Give him like 6 life. And give him like an aura of 4 for relentless. And then he's a. And make him cost like 90 points. You can even give him like 5 life. It's just wild. You could definitely tell that early in the Heroscape's development, they were just like figuring things out. Like, why would you give that guy 3 defense? 3 life. There's just some Heroscape units that you're just kind of like, what was going on here? It's just like, were you trying to nerf this? Were you trying to test it out? Like, how did that... Especially in that early development, I don't know. Bioaccurate Cosima? Yeah, give it to us. That's what that's what I want. It's just like, I love his model. His model's really cool, and or even if they just added like ranged relentless support, then he'd be worthwhile. But he's this weird cheerleader that doesn't do anything. He just sits there. And honestly, I think I'd just rather have another squad of Anubians and risk losing one. Just weird design. There's just some, like, honestly, people complain about the new stuff being kind of twisty, but at least a lot of it's usable. Even like the worst Renegade stuff is still somewhat usable. I think the only like non-usable, like outside of like your casual tabletop match, you know, you just grab people, is Queen Kyrie. Like, I really can't see an instance where you'd pay all those points to bringing her to your army. Yeah, I'm liking the current approach of reprint good old units, 2.0, the old mediocre ones like Sudema. Yeah, it's a pretty good approach. Like, Sudema's cool, but she's really bad. And Zavaris is okay. I think he's kind of fallen off over the years. And he's just more iconic. I would not be surprised if we get all 5 old flag bearers, but Akalar and Hanamoto get 2.0s instead of straight reprints. Yeah, it is. I'm unless they reduce their points so much, but even then, even if Akalar was 60 points, maybe at 60 points, I would field him with archers, maybe. But I don't know. They are bafflingly bad. Queen Quirion is. I'm surprised the War Council made Queen Quirion. I don't know what was going on there. If Queen Quirion just had like a move of 7, she'd be okay. She'd be like this fun, as kind of like take like Cars plays as kind of like the assassin unit in the master box. I could kind of see that. She's just a fast moving. Give her some kind of like order marker switch ability, and then she's like fine. But the fact that you have to move 4 spaces on your turn, activate her without any bonding. I guess there is bonding now, unofficial, but activate her, and then you have to roll 12 or higher, so less than 50%, and then you still have to like roll skulls at that point. You could just do all that and then just whiff. It's like, let's take the worst aspects of Miperxa and remove its range and its speed. Yeah, 7 moves still flying. That would be fun. At least she has like a niche. Like, you just need this one assassin unit just to go in and take something out and then die. But she like doesn't have any rank. Like it's just wild to me. Some of the Age of Annihilation units definitely felt like they were first draft units that never stopped being first draft units. And some of them felt like they were fifth draft units that should have been kept at their first draft. Like overall, I think Age of Annihilation was a really great release. Like at least in terms of the concept of the master set. But there are just some things where, at least in the current Hellscape is kind of being played now. It does just kind of like Sonland is one of those things where it just kind of like doesn't hit right. Where like punishes you for using the character well. Like it's just a little like the fact that he doesn't have self-healing really is baffling to me. Like he really needs that for such a fragile frontline attacker now. Like that removing that from his kit really just worsens him overall. And then like Kyrie, like the whole Kyrie box is still weird. Like why do they not give Kilkarax double attack? Like what's the point of what's the point of bringing two figures to you if they're just gonna die? I was really hoping the Revenants would have some kind of like engagement strike ability to make that power worthwhile, but I just think some of the heroes were a little too aggressively costed for Age of Annihilation, and some were aggressively costed enough. Like when Age of Annihilation released, Mao was 160 points, and she still is 160 points in most contemporary events. Mao is like the stats of better stats almost than like Torkolna. This has all been said ad nauseum. I honestly like the current design of a lot of the new units. There's this strong intentionality of really making squads weaker, and it's tough as an old head. It's tough when your squad is working hard to get to 3 attack. But it's nice that heroes are feeling stronger. Sonland 2 is too jank. At least he isn't gimped with like Swashbuckler. You can at least yeah, why isn't Swashbuckler reversed? That's a good point. It's like, I guess it's just a double attack at that point because you can never attack at range. Yeah, usually like a pirate guy, I killed the first guy, then just like, well, it'd been nice to make that second attack. It's really just double. It's just double attack is all it is. But you can't use range. Yeah, Sonland's okay. I just don't like how he actively punishes you for moving around the battlefield. And you can't use him unless you move around the battlefield. Like, he's strong. It's just, he's strong one time and then he dies. Because that 5 attack into 4 attack is nice. Sonland honestly acts a lot like Cypria, where you have to like pick out your targets and take them out. It's just, I just wish his healing was better. Honestly, wish instead of that double attack, he maintained the ability to do auto wounds, which is kind of like a key part of his kit before. Yeah, honestly, the synergy webs for all the new stuff are really great. It has never been more fun to build armies in Theorycraft than now. It's a little like daunting when you have to like actually commit to an army because there's so many possibilities. But in terms of just like, oh yeah, Corvin can be used in 5 different builds, and all of them are kind of different. at minimum, and you can keep on just making Corbin relevant. It's a very nice design philosophy. Solin needs a healable ally that grants him disengage. That would be very nice. Yeah, Solin. I played Solin with the disengage glyph, and he's very fun at that moment. He gets kind of rid of his crippling weaknesses, and then you just get this. You get something that actually feels like a menace on the battlefield, because he needs that tactical repositioning to really work. I played him one time too with Emeroon, where I just kind of summoned him around the battlefield. And that was fun too. I didn't win, but it was fun. It's really fun summoning him with Emeroon because he's the really only large elf that exists, or huge, or whatever size category is. The 2-space elf. And you can really just kind of gain a lot of extra ground when you summon him. Like, you can put him like, you know, pretty much an additional 2 spaces further from where he should be. I think you could summon him onto a glyph if I remember correctly, the phrasing, because it doesn't say empty space. Yeah, I'm hoping we get some more elf wizards. Honestly, I would have loved this new Solin if he would had the tag of Archmage and Warlord. Just kind of make him wacky like that. So honestly, I think him working with the snakes would work a lot better than him working with the Scions. Although now with Cobra release, probably not. But he's so much points that, like, if you draft him in that capacity, he's still pretty fun. I guess Solin and Romans would be cracked. Never mind. He'd be insane in a Rowan build, I think. But I would play him. I guess I'd rather be the point where I'm playing characters than just having them sit there. Because it's such a cool sculpt. And I do feel like at least Renegade is trying to make some of these unplayable figures playable. As hard as they might. Like, these elites are really just a big patch for the Ullar Kyrie. Like, they're saying you can at least try to play them now. Instead of not using them except for like your master set only brawls. The Kyrie pack was such a weird release. It was honestly, that was probably the one, looking back on Age Annihilation as we move into Secrets of the Citadel, I think my biggest gripe with it all was just the release cadence. Like, Pirates never had their time in the sun because they had to wait for so long for their support, and by that time that came, it wasn't relevant anymore. And like that Gen Con where the only commons were Tanuki and Tanuki and Crabs, or Acolytes and Gravegrim, we were just kind of like, there's just not a lot to go from. I think it left like Contemporary with a lot of bad taste in people's mouth. It's honestly one of my favorite formats to play. Maybe it's just because I like playing with all the new stuff, and I think there's some really big power gaps in Classicscape that no one wants to address. But especially with the G.I. Joe stuff now, there's some pretty healthy options. There's some unhealthy ones like Cobra, but I think Cobra are going to get demoted pretty fast with new stuff coming out. Still love the Ullar Protectors. Ullar Protectors are pretty fun. I just like the sculpts. They're really cool sculpts. Ullar Protectors are in this weird spot where they're really good against heroes, but like if you position them well, they can be really good into commons as well too, which is a nice spot to be in. I say weird, but it's It's like if they run into a spicy like Raylan, they're chewing Raylan up and spitting her out. I forget. Do the protectors work with? Oh yeah, they do work with like common heroes with multi-life and stuff like that because it's just the wounds afflicted. So it's there's. I think they're gonna get some more usage. Danny McBride is working on a new G.I. Joe movie. I heard about that. I heard it's going to be probably tongue in cheek, but maybe that's what G.I. Joe needs a little bit. I did like the first season of Righteous Gemstones. Swamper for EJ1M. What should have been the master set? Yeah. It's the pirates are tough because like you want Widow and EJ1M and that like hired squad just for that appeal, but they're just like so expensive that you can never like fully fit them all together. Which I wish like EJ was less good and was cheaper, like 100 points. Yeah, Widow should have been the master set. Honestly, I would have not had Kill Karax in the master set. Yeah, or even Cornelia, like just, but putting Widow out first would be really nice, and it would have really helped the pirates. I think and give it just a better pirate experience for everyone involved. Also, you get to like use all those common figures and their capacity. Yeah, maybe put EJ with the Dreadnoughts because like the Dreadnoughts are a little auxiliary. Like you don't need them, and EJ Dreadnoughts would be a fun box. Kind of like an update to the pirates at that stage. Widow should be a master set figure. I definitely agree with that. Predictors got me a 2025 sword champ with a low figure limit. We're great against new multi-life dudes. At one turn, yeah, they'll shred things up if they get into position. Yeah, I love low figure formats. Like high point low figure formats are some of my favorite things to do. Like a 600 point 14 figure format is a fun time. Just because you can still bring your commons and you bring your big hero, but like every kill kind of matters. And you get to bring out some of these more, like elites are actually pretty good. I kind of trash on them, but they're pretty good in low figure formats. Because essentially you're shoving two squads into one squad. Which is good if you're D20 and your defense holds, but it's bad if it doesn't. I do like Milky a lot though, or what's the one with the? I always get a Milk. Yeah, I like Milky, the double attacker. Just that heal is really nice. I use her in Thorman builds a lot. Just that healing Thorman is spicy. Yeah, Maladrix was my enemy at scapecon. This was the year of Serpentor. Serpentor was like in probably 40% of the armies, I'd say, this year. Not even like Cobra builds, just different Warlord based builds. He's a menace. I think feels like he's so hard to take care of because he's so good at eliminating things that you just can't surround him and focus fire on him long enough to get rid of him. So if you're running some kind of melee focused army, you have to get next to him, and if you're not piercing that defense, odds are in one turn he's just going to wipe out two of your guys, and odds are his bonding squad's going to come in and finish the job. So you're just not able to maintain that good positioning around him. Yeah, I wish the protectors were a bit cheaper. I mean, the elites were a bit cheaper, so you could do some weird protector elite build. But yeah, these guys are good in that 600 points, 14 figure limit format. I didn't have them painted, but so I Didn't want to play them too much at scapecon. But there were some armies I was thinking about using them in. Shamefully, I had to play some of my snakes unpainted at scapecon. SnakeCon. And, but they did pretty good. I'd say they did alright. I think it was like 3 and 2 I did with the snakes. I had a really fun match. Someone else brought in Phoenox against my Ranox. So we just had a fun time of kind of the back and forth. I think my Ranox ultimately won. Just because, I mean, Frenzy wasn't proccing when it needed to. But it was closer than it should have been. Those snakes are pretty fast. I wasn't too keen on the Ranox when I first started playing them, but they're definitely a squad that, like, the more you use them, they hit it with all the right spots. Base them with the elites and hit them with the protectors. Now you get like one squad of each at that point. They have like a bronzish, goldish thing on their wings too, don't they? Make sure I hit that. Nice feather on the wing. Thank you. As I would say to my my D&D group, I'll give you inspiration for that. I give inspiration for terrible jokes or good jokes. If you are joking. Yeah, I'm at the stage of my D&D career. I think every person reaches the stage where they want to run that Western campaign. I've reached that stage for me, so it's been pretty fun. It's definitely a weird West campaign. Last night my players had to fight a sniper up on a hill. I used a Deadeye Dan model to represent him. What kind of Kyrie squad should Aquila have? So I have a lot of thoughts on the potential Aquila squad of what niche they would have in Heroscape. So I would call them the Oracles of Aquila. And their whole thing is they have, a moderately high range, like a 5 or 6 range, but they don't need line of sight. Kind of work with Glenerva a little bit. The mining cart, right? That's a staple of it. So they would pretty much be like, just use Psionic Blast across the battlefield. So you can pair them like Deflectatron or hide them behind walls, they could still attack you. I think that would be kind of fun. But I would give them like really low defense, so you could have more than just like 2 squads of them. I would make them like a 2 defense squad, like at 60 points. That, or make them like a squad that, one of the few squads that actually does like just rolled healing, I think would be kind of cool. like instead of attacking a Oracle of Aquila may roll the 20, and if they roll like a 16 or higher, they can heal a wound off a small or medium creature or something. Like something like that would be kind of cool. Just like a defensive force. Yeah, what Receiver said. No line of sight. Thing here because the Doctor Strange figure. Yeah, I think it would be fun. Just like a whole squad of them, and because right now there's a lot of tech that blocks line of sight, and it'd be kind of fun to pair that up with some other units, give them a little bit more utility. I could also see them just being very evasive, like teleporting type of deal, but I don't know. I don't want another. There's tons of like evasive units that avoid death. We have so far. Because I always look to their respective heroes and say like, what is this? And right now the only pull that we have is Glenerva, and honestly, Glenerva could use a little help. She's tough because she's like in the spot where she's really good if you know what you're up against. Like if you know you're going to be up against ranged, then she's pretty good. But it's tough. I wish she had some kind of like whirlwind attack or some kind of multi-attack ability. Just because right now she's like, if your opponent doesn't have range, she's just worthless. And she's kind of a cool model. I think she's one of the cooler looking Kyrie figures. So it'd be nice to have some kind of niche use for her. I hope what they don't do for Aquila's Kyrie is just make them like terrain dependent, like tree attack or something. Would be kind of lame. Because the problem is we just don't really know a lot about Aquila right now. Like I'm hoping we get a little bit more information on her in the upcoming narratives, but as of now, she's kind of like doesn't have a lot of personality. We've just had like snippets, so it's hard to define what a squad for her would be like. You know, like Jandar is a stalwart protector, and Ullar is a specialist, and I don't know, like Aquila is kind of just like, I don't know. She's kind of a grab bag of different things. I want to make these brass instead of gold. Don't use gold. Just thinking out loud here. I might use gold actually. I think it'll match better with the green. And not make them look like cool. I'm going to use some old gold from Vallejo. I want a base coat brown first. We'll see. We'll see how this one turns out here. If you notice, I switched to my more junky brushes when I do like metallics and stuff like that. Metallics have mica fragments in them that will shred your nice brushes up. So I always try to switch to a more chunkier brush if I can, just to not instantly kill my nicer brushes. I'm trying to decide if I like this gold, if I want to switch more to a brass. I think I'm going to go more brassy for this. I was trying to see if I liked it or not. I don't think I'm liking it. That means I have to find my brass now, so or bronze. I say, keep on saying brass, I mean bronze. Colors have meaning. I think the oranginess and brownness of it will just match the colors we're using a bit better. I wish these guys had blades, considering they're blade dancers. Like swords. I'm just tracing along the outside here, using the edge of our brush. Okay, just seeing where these colors lie. I think the Vidar squad, the Kyrie squad, there's a lot of interesting things. I think that would be a fun multi-life unique squad, is what I would like to see. Almost like cyborg type things where they have like the head of a Kyrie on like a robot angel body. I think would be really cool. Make them agents. And somehow make Queen Kyrian worth it all. That's the biggest. That's why they haven't released them yet, is they haven't figured out how to make Quirion worth drafting. You know, for Aquila Kyrie, they could just give them the ability to take a turn with any Kyrie hero you control. Maybe make it some kind of like tactical bonding, so Raylan isn't like the de facto choice. Like if that Kyrie attacks, and like have them have really low stats, but if that Kyrie attacks and they get boosted stats or something, I don't know. There's so many bad Kyrie warriors that could just use a little bit of bonding, and Raylan holds them all back. If I could go back in time, I would just make it so that Raylan's aura only affects unique figures. And that would solve a lot of problems. I'm so looking forward to painting the new samurai. I hope they keep the sizing consistent. Okay, let's add a little bit more color to these little highlights here. Probably just gonna be working on, like, even though it's smarter to do them incrementally, I'm just gonna probably focus on one just to kind of get to a point where I'm happy closing the night off with. Alright, we're just gonna take some pure green from Pro Acryl. We're gonna switch back down to our nicer brush. How about quick Kyrie that have low stats when they are clustered, they increase each other's attacks and defense? I could see that. I wouldn't be opposed. We just have a lot of, like, cluster units. It would have to be something kind of different to make them worthwhile. Almost I would like them to punish other units that are clustered. To really be like an anti-pod army would be nice too. So pretty much for every other like friendly unit, like your opponent's, like every unit your opponent's adjacent to of their own, they get an extra attack or defense against. So it really punishes them, forces them to like spread out. Pretty much just some strong anti-pod tech. I would love. Because right now we don't have a lot of that in contemporary. That's why troopers are running rampant. Is just there's just not a lot of answers to them. The best I think we have is like Killian. Maybe the flight pod. I'm hoping we were. I don't know. Should they re-release remaster Zelrig? I mean, Zelrig's iconic and is the coolest looking dragon, and he would help with that problem a lot. Really, put the pressure. I just don't know if there's anything strong enough. No, never mind. We have great bow archers. They can shred Zelrig, so he would actually probably be more checked than in times past. Zelrig, on average, will be doing like one wound to the great bows, and then they're taking him out. Yeah, a really great opportunity to talk to and even play some games against some of the devs at scapecon, and they said they're definitely trying to make heroes feel more heroic. So they said to kind of in the future expect heroes to be stronger, which is really nice. I like nothing worse than a hero that just feels kind of like a waste of time picking. Are they just gonna do an Ullar remaster? I don't know. I'm still thinking about that. All right, let's get some brighter skin tones going on here. We're gonna take just not dark warm flesh. We'll go with bright shadow flesh, and we'll mix this about 1-to-1 with our plain shadow flesh. Just to make a more neutral tone here. Kind of a transition layer as we start to bring it up. Now we're just going to add this to the tops where we want the light to hit. And we'll work on toning this down and blend it in a little bit. Yeah, I hope the Vidar Kyrie are like strong assassin units. That's one thing I'm glad Renegade is doing, is just giving more heroes with anti-squad tech. Even like Krampus has a lot of built-in anti-squad tech, which is nice. Still don't know if he's going to be good or not, but... I'm going to use Tree Ancient for the base of the hair. And we'll be building this up to more of a yellow. Such awkward models. So the more pain, the more I'm moving away from Synethal. I kind of like just the depths the shadow provide. And it also makes it easier if you miss something, it just appears as shadow. Compared to kind of having this big bright white spot on top. I'll actually be going out of town again here pretty soon. I'll be going to old California to visit my in-laws. I know there's a scene up in NorCal. I've seen some people play actually at the game store I used to go to. I'll have to see if there's any tournaments or anything going on with that. It'd be nice to hit a scene in a different state. But I'm also going up to the Sequoia, so I might not have time to play Heroscape. Or room in my luggage to pack what I need. How do you feel about a hero that causes change to the terrain around them? I have like mixed feelings on that. I mean, we have some of those. You know, we have Awashio, we have Storm Shadow and Mika. But something that like does something significant, like lava crabs. Honestly, I would love a hero that drops toxic water. It would be pretty nice. Just something different. Honestly, the terrain effects on heroes is less impactful compared to like the crabs. The odds are it's pretty controlled, and you usually, you know, it's easy to control how you want to handle it with a hero. See, I honestly don't think the lava crabs are like crazy or broken. They're just not good. I wish for all the trouble they cause that they were better. But most of the time lava crabs just kind of get stuck on their own lava. I would honestly, my big Heroscape hero, you know, if it's just me pitching things, not caring about the actual practicalities of things, I would love units that, like a hero unit that removes terrain, that's able to get rid of those, single point perches for your Q11 to hang out on, or is able to remove like those double space god spots for your Q10. Something that like just alter the map by reduction more than addition, I think isn't explored and probably will never happen because there's surely a lot of a lot of problems with it on the mechanical. How do you even phrase you can remove a single space hex adjacent to you, I guess, but it's just there's a lot of baggage with it, but I would love to see it happen somehow. I'm hoping if they make like a King Lava Crab that he's just as goofy as the other lava crabs. I would love him to like remove lava tiles from the map, and then he can like heal or get boosted like a volcano special attack for every lava tile he grabs. It would be kind of fun. Like, it's tough because the terrain is such a key part of the game. You think you would have more figures that actually kind of use it, interact with it. But it's also just, there's just not a lot codification in the rules to really make it easy. But I would like to see it. But I think I'm the only one. I'm this weird competitive player who kind of likes a little jank in their competition. But I also understand why it's not there. The alliance where I went to had cannons on some of the maps, which was created a very interesting game dynamic. But it's definitely something to. Cannons are wacky. Yeah, that's what we need is a hero that can just drop cannons around the map. Now we're taking a little bit of ochre mixed with this brown and the highlights. And let's get some silver. I honestly like heroes that do more of the, instead of adding or removing tiles, I like heroes that we should have more heroes that do more of that kind of passive terrain adjustments. Kind of like the Greater Ice Elemental, I think is pretty interestingly done. Stuff that may, like even like SI4X where it's all shadow tiles around him. I would love a hero that's just every space around him is one space higher than his base. Like kind of like a rock monster that increases elevation. I think there's a lot of fun stuff to play around with that, or like a lava elemental where every space around him counts as like a lava field tile. Like there's some fun stuff to do in that regard. A hero that can summon a snowstorm, changing the whole map into heavy snow and slippery ice. I wish they changed heavy snow and slippery ice to be something instead of just a rule you can ignore. Because as is, it just makes the game unfun. Like, it doesn't like give you any tactical points. It's just like you have to slog through this. And there's nothing. And if you fly, you are just the best at it. I wish snow was just like the first time a turn you entered that it costs 2, and then the rest of the time. Or like the ice would give you like some kind of forced movement mechanic. Like if you end your turn on it, you have to roll the dice, and your opponent can move you to one adjacent spot on a failure or something. Like give you a little bit of fun, but instead of it's just move slowly. In a game where position and movement is the most important aspects. But honestly, I think there's some more stuff that can be done with swamp terrain. Make swamp terrain slower to slog through. Kind of as like an elemental or like a muck monster or something. I would just rage quit if someone just turned the whole snow map into heavy snow. I'd be like, no! Why did I bring knights? Alright, so we're getting there. Bit by bit. Definitely add some shadow to that facial area, I'd say. Let's get a little bit more highlights going on. I'm going to call her Ellie. Ellie the Elite. There we go. Just kind of tracing the various patterns on it. Gotta really make sure this green looks good, because we want Ullar to be impressed. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, Narek, I do like how Narek just gets so much better on a snow map. It's not like he's not even usable not on a snow map, but the moment there is snow, he becomes kind of from like good to like watch out. It's just the jump from 3 to 4 defense is so significant. It's like a 20% jump or something in terms of effectiveness. Let's just turn this down just a bit here. Maybe we'll just add some flesh tone to this. I have a lot of these guys to paint. That's true. I do wish there was some ways to. Honestly, I would even prefer like if he could drop. I wish heavy snow and standard snow were 2 separate colors. That way you could do fun stuff like that, where it's like at the start of the game you can summon a snowstorm and place like 4 heavy snow tiles on the map or something. That way it's like you can kind of bring that snow with you but not ruin the whole kind of pace of the game. I think there's something there that could be built on. Kind of the ability to displace terrain onto a map. I think would be really fun. Like kind of instantaneous. Like the crabs are tough because they have to die to use it, and then they just kind of get stuck in their own killing field. One of these days, I'm going to run a tournament where the goal is going to the tournament is going to be called Tower of Crabble, and the goal is to end end the game by building the tallest crab tower, being on top of the tallest crab tower. Yeah, Elsmil, Celestial, Berserker, and Zute. Yeah, no, I definitely see that there's some place for it. Honestly, like lava needs it, even though lava's tough to work around. Like if we could just temporarily place molten lava on the map, you could bring the obsidians out of retirement. Even if it was just like all lava field, the obsidian occupy count as molten lava. Like that way you can't just dunk people. I'm a fan of lava dunks. I think more games need more lava dunks. People are always like, it feels bad. I'm like, yeah, but you could also throw me in the lava, and that feels pretty good when that happens. No greater joy in life than throwing someone in the lava from Jotun. get one more final bright highlight on this. Let's go with Emerald Forest. Ooh, should we go more yellow or pure green? Let's go bright green. It's just made a big mess. All right. Paint. This is why I'm covered in paint all the time. The cap fell off and just got all over me. Let's see, do I want to do a yellowy green or just a bright green? We'll stay with this. And we're gonna line him where we got the shadows out, and then we're gonna feather him out just to soften it. Or molten crustaceans that create lava terrain once per turn, like washes create water. That would be fun. Honestly, like a creature that could temporarily turn like a friendly creature space into a terrain type would have like a lot of fun. Like this guy, like a master of like an avatar like creature that's like, okay, he can change the terrain type of a, of that space once per, kind of like give him like a wild tile that just can be a terrain type of his choosing. Would be kind of fun that you could place down. Like, oh, that's snow terrain because we need some snow. Or we need some molten lava for our obsidians. Kind of just give them that flexibility, but like not have it affect enemy units. Just kind of like a terrain gatherer. Oh, it's road tile. Some kind of like alchemist would be kind of fun, like that. All right, let's just go pure bright shadow. I'm going to hit the nose, the eyebrows, and the chin here. And a little bit of the cheekbones. They were from Renegade. They were not from the they were not from the War console, I'm pretty sure. They're fun units, honestly. I like playing them in my own home games. Like, it's fun turning the whole map into a lava field. It's just like going to a tournament and having to remember to bring all those tiles to every table. It's kind of a hassle. Crabs just need more movement. Like, they do not have enough movement. Let's get a dry brush going on here. Let these wings I'm going to use a bright neutral gray. Probably should have put that on a dry palette, but I think we'll be okay in this instance. Would love to see King Crab for the army. Yeah, King Crab would be great. Also, hello, Rogue. Hope you're well. New studio treating okay. It's treating me splendidly. It's a bit of a mess post scapecon now, but honestly, it's just been, in terms of practicality, it's been very nice. Just having all my stuff in one spot, all my paints over here, up on the wall. Before it was like all just in individual tubs, and it was just a mess. It's still always going to be a mess because I'm just kind of a messy person, but it's my mess now. And the lights are all bolted into the wall. Everything's kind of where it should be, which is nice. Don't hate yourself. Just dry brush these wings. I guess if you're crazy, you could trace out each individual line. This is where dry brushing really excels, is catching that raised texture. You probably want to do a couple passes over it just to really get to that brightness you want. And if you're not confident in your brush control, definitely do this before you do all the other colors so you don't have to go back and retouch it up. There we go. That looks a lot nicer. Yeah, something like that. Something to benefit them from actually dropping the lava train, because as of now, it just kind of gets in their own way. Sounds like a great station to be able to get some work done. Have I played the Kyrie much? I think I played one game with these Kyrie specifically online. I haven't had a chance to play them because they're still unpainted. So I've actually played Milky a bit in some Thorman builds, which I really like. Back when there was just like Age of Annihilation of the first wave, she was kind of like my throw-in filler hero. As that healing and kind of like that unique only format is pretty nice, but I haven't played like an official tournament with these ones yet. Just haven't found the right format. We were talking about how they're pretty decent into low fig, high point armies, which is not a common format. But I'm hoping with the paint job I'll be able to field them eventually. But yeah, the new station's working very well. It's been a bit of a hassle to get to that point, but now that we're here, it's very nice. Still fixing up my garage that I moved out of. I turned that into like the media playroom. So we got a projector up in there, which is nice. Perfect for my my movie viewing experience. Watched Godzilla X Kong New Empire recently on it, which was fun. I don't think it's a great movie, but it was a fun movie. Definitely be the theater opening night for Godzilla -0 though. Whenever you use a dry brush, definitely make sure you remove the excess, as it will get stuck in the bristles and ruin your dry brush there. Alright, let's see if we can get an old Ellie here finished up. We're just going to use that pure ochre now and just trace up the highlights the best we can here. Maybe I should change my garage into a garage? Nonsense. Who uses the garage for a garage? It's just so much space. I don't have the biggest house. I have a lot of kids. So I gotta make do with what I can do. Of course, I will be eating those words come a couple months once it's winter time. And I have to wake up at 4 in the morning to thaw out my car in 9-degree weather. But, 9 months out of the year ain't bad. No, I've had to... I'm wanting to move here pretty soon. Move houses, but... it's just... This is a rough market out there. And... So we're definitely... Me and my 3 kids we're outgrowing the place. We are using every square inch of this home to make it viable. You may say, but Josiah, why do you have a whole room dedicated to a studio? And I say, because I do this a lot. I do it enough where it's worthwhile to have. Into a panic room? I mean, that'd be good to have too. You never know. There's some high profile people after me for sure. Yeah, currently our master has been converted to the boys' room, and then the basement has been converted to the master. We're just shifting things around to make it work. It's nice. We got the carpet in there. We got like all the stuff. We got carpet. Yeah, it's what we got at this stage of life. I feel like I need to get a little bit more yellowy on the next layer. Okay, let's add a little flesh tone to the skin, just to tone it down. Mainly because I'm too lazy and I don't want to glaze down colors. I'll let the wash do the work for me. Honestly, I might use more speed paint than down. Back and forth. Do I want to use a skin shade or let's use speed paint? We'll give it a little bit more color and vibrancy into that. Have I painted any Master Roshi's custom prints? No, Master Roshi does that all himself. He actually he uses just like apple barrel paints. I usually like see him like painting them up before a convention and just kind of get them done. We're mainly using this speed paint here as kind of like a filter, just to kind of blend these layers together a bit better and darken them. Using honestly like a similar color speed paint over your layers is a really good way to just get some really easy blends. Kind of just bend it down and we're sapping up the excess here. That way it's not too like muddy from a dark. Let's see if we get some inside. Does add a little bit of tone and definition to it. Let's fix up her helmet area. Am I hoping to be doing a live paint next Wednesday? What's going on next Wednesday? Maybe. Might have D&D that day. Probably Monday. Monday, I might do one if I have time. There's like a special bonus just to get some more done. Maybe I'll see if I can find a guest to hop on with me. And we're actually going to take a little bit of that gold and mix it with the brass just to give it a little bit of extra tone here. But I should also be doing next Thursday. Any models in the upcoming releases you're particularly excited to paint? Oh, there's so many. I was just talking about that. There is some really good looking models. I mean, the Samurai, Tanaka, I believe his name. I always get the names mixed up. Takawa is going to be really, really fun to paint up. I mean, I'm going to spend a lot of time on him. I mean, just even, like, they're all really, really nice. Like, the Neurofers are going to be really fun. Honestly, I think the one I'm most excited for is the Eisen Expedition and Kimball pack. I think that's just going to, the Vorid, like, those Vorids are some of my favorite, like, looking models, I think. They're just kind of, there's a lot of personality, a lot of fur, a lot of things to bring out in them. And I think just they're going to have the biggest jump from the pre-paints to like more of a dedicated paint. Gamble's just this cool dragon. See my take on painting the Necrotech Reavers. I've been working on some. I've been working through them, seeing kind of what I want. Here's one I painted. This one took a bit. I didn't use any wash or metallics on them. It was kind of fun. Let's see. I think I have one, two. No, I have them nearby. I was working on another version, like a green version, at scapecon, just to keep up with the green theme. There's just, I have so many Reavers up. I'll have to do another stream to get those ones knocked out. I think I have like 6 boxes of Reavers I bought because I didn't realize that they had 2 in a pack. So I have a lot of Reavers to work through. Maybe 5. Let's add a little bit of a brighter yellow. Just, I think it's getting like a bright yellow ochre mixed with just a tiny bit of warped yellow, just to give it a little bit more of a hue. Let's see here. Yeah, I'd say the Eisen are especially things I'm looking forward to paint. Really, there's not one I'm not like. I'm very excited about these upcoming models. In the future, I'm probably going to be repainting Krampus just to look a little bit better. I'm trying to remember what all is coming. I don't. Oh, I think doing a really nice paint job for Concan will be fun. A lot of stuff you can do with the colors there. I mean, painting knights is always so satisfying just because it's easy. So, like, jaune will be a fun one. me see what it is. I don't even remember what's the what's coming soon. That's the problem, is they drop all this stuff like 6 months, and I do not have the memory for 6 months. Yeah, Con can make it look younger. It's been tough. He's had a tough war, but probably a little younger. Let's see here. Carrega will be fun to paint. I might actually have to finally make that Morrow video people keep on asking me for. Instead of just keep on putting it off. I mean, Takanawa is going to be fun. I don't like painting horses that much. I think there's a lot of fun stuff to do with Dernipia. Like, it's just a wonky design. It's a lot of texture and light to work with, which is going to be kind of fun if you go hard on that. I think probably the least is Fritzed. Like, it's not very exciting to paint a fish in a diaper, even though I like the design. I appreciate it. I think Neural Furs will be pretty fun. I mean, fur is always fun to paint. It's just, you get the dry brush and you feel like a instant master there. But yeah, Dernipa, now I see her, is going to be kind of like a fun paint. And then the Eisen, if I had to narrow it down. It honestly kind of depends on Gimbal's structure, like how easy it is to get into the cockpit. Like, that might be problematic. Like, I don't want to, use the tip of my brush to go into a narrow area. But if it's pretty accessible, then I'll be looking forward to it. Yeah, but you get some fun OSL and Dernipia and some just, drag. There's like, I love, as a painter, like, everyone has their thing they love doing, and like texture is one thing I just love painting. Maybe even a little bit too much. And there's just a lot to work with on her. Yep, that is fair. I will. Thankfully, he comes pre-broken, which is nice. But if I could pop Gimbal out, yeah, he's getting out of there. My second Zed Nesbitt I had just lying around. I need to get that video finished, just so I can put them back together, because he's currently in 3 pieces. Which I think I'm going to do the video in 3 parts. Break it up into 3 parts, if you will. Zed Nesbitt is like such a cool model. I just wish he was slightly better. Also, I wish he was slightly easier to store. And we're just raising up these highlights just slightly. The elites have very long necks. What about Dernipia? Well, she has that glowing flask on her that you can mess with. Kind of put some glow effects on your model. Just all that texture and skin tone. This will be a fun one. I think that's one that will, like, when you paint it, it'll look a lot better than the factory paint. I foresee the factory paint job of that one looking kind of flat. Let's see if we can get this spot behind her hair. And let's see if we can get some a little bit of peach flesh going on here, just for some final highlights. I think we get more Durga figures. I know we had one of the Dreadnoughts, and we have Dernepia so far. I wouldn't mind. Just because I think the Durgath are kind of cool. Just kind of this race of reptilians in the swamps that aren't anything like Kyrie at all. Like, they just are their own thing. I could see like a new clan being found that serves like Revna or something. I really want more of those Salatians, the shark people from the Dreadnoughts. I think that would be kind of a fun squad. Especially since they kind of come from Mar. Just a new Mar species would be nice. Make them fierce or unfathomable so they work the gallery. And we're cooking. We're just taking this peach flash and just bringing up some of these highlights here. I think I went a little too strong on the face. I'll have to tone that back down. A lot of the painting is just you go up, then you go back down, and then you go back up. Till you get to a spot where you're happy you're tired. She's looking pretty good for a common figure. I'm happy with where we're going. Let's do some last minute touch-ups. Tone her face back down. And I'll use that same skin color on the gold parts just to kind of give it a reddish hue. Okay. I don't mind that one bit. Okay, I think we'll call it for tonight. We got one mostly done. We'll touch it up later. Fix some of the little errors. And for the most part, that's one figure out of the pile done. I think she'll look pretty good once we base her with the other Ullar Kyrie. And yeah, so we'll be able to run 5 squads of the elites of Ullar, right? And one of the dreadnoughts was a Durgath. Yeah, it's the little green guy. At least according to the lore. There's a Salatian, a Gorilla, a Primadon, and a Durgath. They're pretty cool. I think we are about good tonight. I might be streaming Monday if the time schedules allow. Maybe we'll finish up some more of these guys. We'll do something different. Comment on this video if you want to see me paint something else that I have in the backlog. And other than that, good luck to all those going to Gen Con. I am working on editing my scapecon retrospective, so that will be arriving sometime. I make no promises. And be looking for more stuff. Definitely subscribe if you haven't, and check out my affiliate link if you're looking to get some Heroscape. It does help support the channel, enable giveaways, and we're close to 1,000 subscribers. So once we hit 1,000, we will be having some fun. Speaking of giveaways, we'll be giving away some more stuff. So thanks everyone for listening, for watching, for keeping me focused as I worked on getting some layers on my elites. It helped me out considerably. So I think without much ado, I bid you all good night and